How's it going, you? My name is Wally, and welcome back to another film review. On today's review, we're going over James Gunn's Superman, one of my most anticipated films of the year, as well as the start of a new DC era. And going into this review, it's gonna be a pretty tricky one, which is why it kind of has taken me about a week to post my review. Usually, that's not the case. I usually go a couple of days after the film has already been out to give you guys a chance to watch the film for yourselves, form your own opinions, and just see what the overall consensus of the film is before I come out and give my own thoughts on it myself. And this film has been quite a tricky one, and for many reasons. One, there's just so much going for this movie, not just in terms of like what the movie is, with like so many different plot points and characters to follow and all that stuff. James Gunn's vision is a really big one when it comes to this film, and it makes it for a good watch. It really does, but also things outside of the film that have been kind of hard to avoid when it comes to talking about the film. And of course, all of that would be leading into the more political stuff, which I have been debating whether I should have that be a factor in the review, which it definitely will be, as like the film itself has something to say about the state of the world that we're in. So going into that will be or at least avoiding talking about that was going to be challenging. But the more I think about it, or the more I've thought about it, the more I realize, no, that this is what the movie stands for. Superman is a movie about hope, about kindness, and about doing the right thing simply just because it is the right thing to do. And I feel like there is no other better character to demonstrate that lesson than the man, of course, being Superman. James Gunn understood the assignment when it came to making this movie. He understood who the character of Superman really is, and he made a movie about it. I mean, what better way to start off, a new DC universe than with the most iconic, one of the more iconic superheroes of all time, demonstrating the idea and the lesson of being kind and being a symbol of hope. That is what Superman is in this movie, and you know what? Watching it in theaters, it was an absolute blast. I had a great time. This was a movie I've looked forward to for quite a bit because DC has never been a IP that I've ever been I'm not too fond of. Growing up, I've caught some of their animated movies, which are really good. But when it comes to like any theatrical films, growing up in a time when Zack Snyder was, releasing Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and all these very iffy DC projects, I as a kid, I never really caught interested in that. They weren't really my idea of of Superman or Batman. Like I didn't quite really wanted to see that. I wasn't fond of that. I didn't connect with that. I was a kid. I wasn't really looking forward to broody superheroes. I really like the more optimistic and comic accurate type superheroes like Spider-Man and Captain America. Like those ones I truly loved growing up. So to see that James Gunn knew that this DC universe had to had a different approach, a different take, by being more lighthearted and more just fun, more comic accurate, and feel like a comic book. That's what this movie feels like. It feels like a comic book, and it's not ashamed to be that. And that could all, and for that reason, it could be a good and bad thing that it does do that. In my humble opinion, I think it's really awesome that James Gunn pulled it off. I mean, we get so many movies where it's just kind of more broody and dark. Not to say that's necessarily a bad thing, but with the state of the world that we're in, where everything is already kind of going to shit, we needed a big refresher and a big breather like Superman, where we just see a man saving people, and that's awesome to see. Why not, right? So that's what James Gunn did here, and it's all delivered perfectly, from the casting in this movie to the action, the music especially. It's all uplifting stuff that you want to see, and you feel like you're in the world of Metropolis in this movie, and that's really awesome. And to see that pulled off, James Gunn does it so well in his other movies, and he did it well here. Going over that stuff, like example, the casting. David Cornsweet is he is the Superman to be playing Superman. The symbol of hope. I feel like there's no other better actor in this world than David Cornsweet, playing that big role of being the symbol of hope. He has that, corniness to him and goofiness, like in nature, and even with that, he's still a very humbling guy, and you feel that he wants to be the Superman who wants to save people and make and impact people's lives for the better. That's who he portrays. That's the character he's portraying in this movie, and that's who Superman is. So they're both just like one and the same, and it feels awesome seeing that. Lex Luthor, again, all these castings are incredible. This is the Lex Luthor that you want to see on screen, where you just hate the guy. He is doing things simply because he just hates Superman that much, and you see that anger in this movie. Like, it's so well portrayed, and you cannot help but just hate this guy. You cannot stand him, and that's good. We want to see a Lex Luthor who's like that. Also, we just want to see a villain who just hates the hero so much and hates everything he stands for. That's what we're seeing here, and that is the dynamic that we're seeing in this film a lot between Superman and Lex Luthor. It's all well played out, and it's a lot of fun to see. It's very gut wrenching, and it's just a classic superhero, supervillain type thing you want to see in a comic book movie. Louis Lane, especially, great supporting roles all around. Mr. Terrific, all great stuff to see. And as I said before, this film is a lot to unpack. Like when it comes to like the cast and the scale of this, and also being the first movie in this new superhero universe. There's a lot to go over, and I don't feel like I'll be going into it too much, as like I don't know what to expect coming into this new universe. I just watched this movie just to see a good Superman movie, and that's exactly what I got, and it's a lot of fun that it feels relieved. I feel absolutely relieved that we got a good DC movie in a long while, as well as knowing that James Gunn is behind all this and seeing how really good this movie was. Like, it gets me really excited for the future of DC, and hopefully even just superhero media in general, because I want to see more good stuff like this. And even the cast and crew that was involved with this movie, you feel the heart and passion being poured into the film, and that's exactly Superman being a man who has care and passion for everything, seeing that the people behind the film has that same passion. Superman influencing people to be their best selves and to help the world be a better place. Like, that's what you want to see, and that's what you want to kind of take away when watching this movie. You want to feel like a changed person. And after seeing the movie and after seeing all the things that the media has to say about it, even when it comes to like meme culture, like being a changed person all of a sudden after watching Superman, which sounds silly, a movie doing that, but that's the power of cinema, and that's the power of even superhero media, is that they're heroes trying to make a difference in the world, trying to improve and make it better. Superman, again, the symbol of hope, does that very well. People are taking that away from this movie, is that they should just be a better person, because why not? It doesn't cost you anything to be a good person, and that's awesome to see. Again, the movie is I would say is very well paced, very well edited, and it's all captured like in a frame that you would see a comic book being read. And that comic book movie, comic book IP. Put them together, it feels like a comic book. That's the great stuff. Now, other stuff that is kind of hard to not talk about when it comes to Superman is, of course, the controversies surrounding the film, like the idea of Superman being an illegal alien, and a lot of media seeing that the wrong way, who clearly have never read a single comic book in their life or even know about the character of Superman, actually, being an alien from outer space and coming to this world to just be a good person and try to make the world a better place. It's really funny to see that this film is being seen in that light, and by a good chunk of people, seeing it as like some woke agenda type thing, and that James Gunn is just ruining Superman and just fitting the his political ideology, when James Gunn himself has already gone on record in interviews saying that this movie is just simply about kindness and spreading hope, and just being a good person. And it's honestly a shame that people would see that and call it woke, or call it like it's just like it's their mortal enemy. It's a shame to see. It's a shame see of all the things to say that to Superman being that thing is really, man. I don't even know how to put into words. It's kind of ironic too, considering that the main villain of the movie is literally like those people in real life saying that that's the bad thing. That seeing a guy do good is bad. And the movie even tackling that subject about Superman simply doing good. He's going across the world to save people. Yeah, the media is more concerned about the fact that he just entered a country illegally, and man, it's so fascinating. It's so fascinating to see stuff like that, because if we ever did had a superhero in real life, and he's just saving people, that definitely would be something that the media would be going crazy over. Just the fact that there's these other factors that don't play into what his intentions were. He just wanted to save a squirrel, but people don't see that, and it's a shame, really. But I would hope that after this movie has been released and people's reaction to it, I would hope that they come out of the film a bit with a different perspective in life, really. And I think that is the case, based on what I've been seeing as well. People see Superman's awesome. We get a good, number one, we just got a good Superman movie in general. So people seeing that and being, changed and wanting to do better, that's good. That's Superman's job in the first place. And I say he very much well succeeded. And I think James Gunn succeeded as well, creating this new universe of heroes who we're going to be following within the next decade or so in this new DC cinematic universe. And there's so much more to see, and I honestly can't wait for it all. You guys know me. I'm always a fan of stuff. I want to be a fan of more stuff, and just be consuming content all around. If it's good content, especially, that's what I want to see. And seeing James Gunn deliver us this new thing to be excited for, this new universe to be pumped up for, I'm all in for it. So, James Gunn, again, the guy. Tell me when the guy has ever missed. He hasn't missed with any of his projects. He certainly did not miss with this one. He wanted this one to be as good and as faithful as possible, and you feel that in the film. And the results, I say, are pretty super. So that's my review on Superman. And let me know what your guys' thoughts on it in the comments down below. If you've seen it, if you haven't, go watch it. It's a good flick. You'll feel good coming out of it. I hope you do. So that's my review. Look forward to more stuff. Before I go, yes, I've realized that my uploads has been a bit wacky. Again, summer's been weird, having the time to sit down. And there's been stuff I've been wanting to talk about, which I still will, so look forward to that stuff. But it'll come at a weird pace. My upload schedule is not consistent, if you haven't already seen that by now. But I'll definitely be doing my best, just like Superman always does his best as well, making the best decisions, putting one foot in front of the other, and just trying his best to make the world a better place. So thank you so much for watching my review, and I hope you guys have a super let's go with the puns, have a super day, and be a good person too. You guys have a good one. Stay safe.